Hello, welcome pen friends. Welcome to day 15 of 30 Inks 30 days. Wow, halfway point. My goodness, it just, when we first started, it didn't seem like, it seemed like a really long month laid out ahead of us. But today's ink is the last one from the Straits pen Honest Ink from Ink Flight 30, and it's Bougainvillea Purple. The lighting and the camera seems to take away a little of the brightness. But we have to deal with that all the time. So we'll do our very best here to show you. And here it is on our, big panel. Let's hop right over and look at it. This is Tomoy River 68 GSM in the Bond Travel Gear ink journal that I'm using. And here we go right here. It is in the broad nib. It was looking like 35 was pretty accurate for the dry time. You can, if you're in the United States, you can get this ink at lemurink.com, and I'll put a link down below. 30 mil for $14. You can also check for which pen shows Straits Pen Honest Ink are going to be at. And you can contact them online if maybe you're somewhere where you can't go to a show or order from Lemur Ink. I'm not sure, but I'll put their link for you. Okay, it's just a bright, cheerful color. Oh my goodness. In the stub nib, the 1.5 millimeter goulet stub, it took approximately 30 seconds to dry, and it's very bright. So the camera's like making it lose some of the brightness, and that's unfortunate because I really wish I could show you exact precision of what it looks like. I played around a little with my name and stuff. And then in the fine nib, it was taking just slightly over 20 seconds to dry. And my first impression is very, very favorable. I really love this color. And you'll see why when we get to the comparison panel, because some of my other favorite colors showed up on that panel. It's got awesome flow. There's some subtle shading, and sometimes you see it more than others, but it's really pretty. It reminds me of Monteverde Rose Noir. And I had a question for myself. I said, is it brighter? Well, we'll get to see that because I've got an old ink journal we can get back into. This is the chromatography. Now that doesn't just amaze me. And someone said, this looks pink. Well, no wonder, that's an interesting first color there. And it does kind of look pink. And then we get a little magenta and then some purple. I mean, it's just amazing. Okay, let's remember today that this is note to self. Here we go. I want to show you the bath tests because yesterday I did forget. So today's ink, Bougainvillea Purple, was totally typical fountain pen ink, and it did vanish in the water bath test. Okay. And then yesterday's, we got to go back again too, was Happy Accident Lilac, and that got an A with the cleaning out of my pens, which means no problems whatsoever. As you can see, this was the same way. It completely vanished. But what I was really bummed about was I hadn't shown you the ultramarine, day 13. That had just a little bit of remaining readability, but you can't count it. It was just very typical, and it was an A on the clean out too. So there we go. I like to keep up with those, otherwise we're going back too far, but that's how it went. Okay, put those aside. Okay, so I'm going to keep this here, and we'll get the Rhodia out. This is Rhodia 80 gram dot grid, right off a dot grid pad. Here it is in the broad nib. And I cheated a little. I got tired of waiting for it to dry, and I put likely 35 seconds. I thought it was very striking on this paper, because this paper is very white, so I actually think this ink does well on super white paper, if that would help you, I don't know. Here it is in the stub nib, and it was nearly dry at 30 seconds. It had a lot of nice variation, I thought, even in the, let's see if I can hold that up, in the scribbles, and in the letters too, but it's very subtle. And then in the fine nib, 20 seconds to dry. Okay, and I made a note down below, very nice on crisp white paper. Yeah, I really think this does this particular color a lot of favors. So I mean, this is white paper technically, but you could tell it's just not as white, so it makes a difference. Okay, then jumping on to CVS Caliber. This is the little 5x7 notebook, very inexpensive. Here it is in the broad nib. I almost forgot to do the scribbles and the test, so I came back in and squeezed it in there. About 40 seconds it was almost dry in that broad nib, and then in the stub nib, here it is, and it was dry at 35 seconds, which is good enough to show me what I needed to know. And then in the fine nib, it wasn't scratchy or anything. I just didn't like how it looked as well, because I like to have that bright color coming through, you know, and more of it, because you know how I am with color. So I put best in the broad or 1.5 on the CVS paper, in my opinion. So, all right, let's look at the back of this one, and then we'll go look at the back of those. So it's just your normal little bit of shadowing, no bleed through or anything. And then on the back of the Rhodia, oh, we get a nice clean page to look at today. You know, very typical and normal, nothing happened, just a little tiny bit of shadowing. And then on Tomoy River 68 GSM, oh, we have to look at yesterday's, but it's very typical, and as you could see, you don't really, I'm not bothered by yesterday's. You can barely see it in the background there. Okay, let's see. Oh, here it is. I was going to say, I wanted to show you on 52 GSM, because I thought, ooh, it just really had a field day on this, because this paper also loved it. And it gave a chance to show the variations that are possible, how it brightens up, and it has that dark ability too. It's gorgeous. I mean, I can't believe that they can still make another ink that seems so unique. You know, I've said that again, time and time again. Oh, I put half at the beginning, half at the end. Yeah, we're halfway there. And here's the big painted on part. But we get to see it in the stub, the fine nib, and the broad nib on this paper. I really particularly liked it. I liked it on here, and I liked it on the Rhodia. And there is a difference, as you can probably see. Yeah, there's a difference. This was given to me, these scraps, and I love it for this purpose. But I didn't buy it, so I'm not sure. I think it's still considered white, because the cream that I had was so much more creamy, but I can't swear to that. So there's a difference there, and there's a difference with this too. But it was just pretty. You could tell, I guess, that I really like this ink. Oh my goodness. Hurry up, pen allowance. Okay, so let's look at the comparison panel. Put that here and try to straighten it out. Huh. Bifocals or something else. Okay. Okay, so right in the middle is our ink of the day. This is frustrating because it is a little brighter than it appears. It's changing things. If you would just look at this video, you might say, well, that just looks just like, you know, blackberry or whatever. And I've got some more to compare so you can see that that's not the case. But at first I thought that it was going to be very, very similar to Birmingham Southside Market Boysenberry, but there's some distinct differences. And I want to flip back into that journal in a minute, but I thought we'd look at the panel first. Monteverde Rose Noir is very, very reminiscent, but it isn't as bright. And actually you can see that here, whoops, even with the distortion or the difference that the camera gives us, I can see that this one is dustier, you know, and this one's brighter. So at least in my heart, that makes me feel better that, you know, you can at least be, you know, compare them under similar conditions. And I got out Annie's mix. That is really pretty too, and it has that complexity. It's a different shade, of course, but it gives us a chance to compare. Here's one that a lot of people know, Pilot Iroshizuku Yamabudo. Let's see what that's, and let's see. We have talked a lot here about Bunga Box Lamont. I have done a profile on that one. And I've also profiled Roaring Klinger Solferino and Monteverde Rose Noir. So there'll be quite a few, I think, on that purple playlist there. Here's Mont Blanc Lavender Purple, darker, much darker. Let's see. Okay, I think it's time for these extras. Now, here is Tasha Ebby. Much redder. See how that happens, kind of? It's maroonish, and it's just a different, there's quite a bit of differences. It almost made the panel, because some of these are not at all like platinum violet. That's just to show you a magenta up against it. It just, you know, really looks different. Okay, let's see what else I pulled out. Here is Noodler's Black Swan and Australian Roses. Okay, so a long ways from that too, really. Okay, Diamine Syrah. That's reddish. That's more reddish, more burgundy-ish. And it is very different. Huh. I'm thinking about taking a viewer's suggestion and putting 3 more, 6 more total on here. But I need some materials, so that'll have to wait a little bit. And then here's Diatramenous Blackberry. I felt like this is what the camera was kind of doing to this ink, where it is a little brighter. That's not going to help you. But if you're familiar with Blackberry, this might help you to kind of see that they are different. Okay. Oh, purple, Noodler's Purple Mountain Majesties. It's much more purpley, and it has a different way about it too, but I thought it deserved to be compared. Could have gone anywhere on here, really. Okay. And then Diamine Purple Dream, 150th anniversary. Oh, it's gorgeous. Just gorgeous. But it's a different type of purple, as you could see. Okay, one more. Oh, this is one that there's a story attached to this. KWZ Standard Berry. A pen friend sent me a 2 ml sample, and I don't know what I was thinking. I started writing with it and going crazy, and then I realized, oh no, now I can't profile it. But this is something that now I pay more attention to. I kind of wait till after I've done a profile now. But it's different than Bougainvillea Purple, of course. It's much more purplier, if there's such a thing. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's talk about what I thought of the ink. I'm sure you can guess. Got all kinds of stuff to go with it today. Okay, I'm determined not to be, frustrated by my own, system here, or what I'm trying to do. This is the little, from the pen thing, the little book, Ink Swatch Plot Log. It's a pocket size. And I've got it in here. And I said, I love this color. It's well behaved and excellent flow. But the color is the #1 thing that lures me in on this one, and the flow, because it worked really well in all the pens. So, but as I said yesterday, and I'll probably say again, I'm not yet comfortable with all this rating stuff, because I'm torn between my own personal, what I care about with inks, and also I want to show you enough so that you know whether you want a sample of this ink, so. And that's, I've always called my ink reviews profiles, because I wasn't quite, I was kind of aware that I'm just learning, So anyway, all that being said, saturation was good, the flow was great, shading was present, and we'll see it in this other ink journal book too. Bleeding and feathering I didn't evaluate, except it did happen one place, but dry time I thought was normal. I didn't see sheen, halo, or shimmer, and it's so interesting because, I know one viewer said halo would be a negative thing, and if halo is what I think it is, I like it, but I don't like it in all cases. So I have got a lot to learn, and that is good. If this challenge does nothing but reveal to me the things I have to learn, then it's a good thing. Of course, it didn't go through this paper. This is a really heavyweight Hewitt Packard premium paper. So, okay. So then again, we were reminded that my criteria for myself anyway is the color has to please me. It needs to be bright and saturated enough for me. In some cases, brightness it's okay. Like in certain colors, it doesn't have to be bright, but it needs to be saturated enough so my Lamy Fine nib can show it. I need really good flow in the ink. I want it to be well priced and available. I need to be able to clean it out. I'm a little leery of other kinds. And then I do like shading, so. But I've been over that before, but in case you're in this profile and you've never seen any of my others, heaven only knows what you might already know. Okay, so I got into this one too. This one a pen friend sent to me, a pen pal, and it's by Ink Journal. And it's different. Okay, it gives you a place to record. I think it's, was it total of 78 inks that you can record. And then up front here you can index, which is cool. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm missing something, but who knows. Okay, so here we go. Well, this was this was Bungabox Lamont. Let's go to the correct page, Chris. Okay. Okay, they also, Ink Journal also has a free printable so that you can use your own paper. And this was 28-pound Office Depot paper. I was detecting a little bit of bleed through on this, so I should have put in my 32-pound paper that I have that a pen friend sent. But we won't look, this was just me playing after. Okay, this is how the paper comes in this. And the only issue I have is I use broad nibs, so I do find that the ink comes through my book, and I'm trying not to let that bother me. Let's see. You know, the SBRE brown in a medium didn't go through, so this book is probably good for people that use fine up to medium, and maybe, who knows, maybe it's just what I'm doing. But so the difference in here is you have a whole spread. It's 5 by 7 to start with, I think, approximately. Let's see. But I know I'm not, okay, no, that's 8.5 by 5.5. Okay, 8.5 by 5.5. So, but I thought it would be interesting since we've been looking at the other one. I do think it changes the color more, or it changes the color differently, but all paper does that. Yeah, there's a big difference. Wow, there's a big difference. Okay. Even if you hold it up to the window, there's quite a bit of difference. But this just shows that there's many ways of doing this, like flow, saturation, shading. It was a little lower. Water resistance, I started to put a dot, but no, it doesn't really have any water resistance. So, and then I did the test on here, which went through to the other side. That was the only thing, you know, I thought, well, maybe this format, which they give you the printable in, maybe this format printed out on paper that I'd like. Okay, and I didn't finish. I was just playing around with this. But it's really bringing up a lot of interesting ideas on how I could develop my own little thing, and I'm going to, so, okay. How about we do some art? Or, you know, the Nick Stewart technique with this ink. How about that? I like doing that. And I'll show you what yesterday's dried as, because they always dry a little different. This was yesterday's Happy Accident Lilac. Oh, it's beautiful, and it sure did react quickly. Kind of took it away, but you see some great chromatography in there. So everything is here. Pens and well, a little bit more left today. That's because I had to clean the bathroom, do the laundry, I'm making soup. Oh my goodness, I had a lot of stuff to do today, and the day's not over, so plenty of time left. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put the water down. I'm not looking at the time. Okay. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, I'll probably find out in the middle what I forgot. Whoops. Okay, we got it down. Try the right one. Ooh, nice. Well, I like that outline that's coming out. Let's see if we can get... Oh, I dropped that by accident. Okay, I'm going to do it a little different maybe today. Yeah, I'm going to do it a little different. Thought maybe I would take my pen. Try to find out where we're at here. Just use the pen. Give it just a little more subtleness. Okay. Huh. And maybe we'll put some detail in and see what happens. Ooh, that's pretty. Kind of a squatty tree. Probably, oh, that would have been better if oh yeah, okay, I see. The trees do not all come looking like Christmas trees. It must be that I like that shape of tree. Well, being from Vermont, a lot of the trees in the woods are, you know, pointed like that, and not all of them, of course, but oh, isn't that neat? It's a different way of doing the tree. Okay, or whatever. Could be a shrub or anything. Could be a purple palm tree. Fun. Okay, this one doesn't seem to be as dramatic, but that, you know, that can change just how much water you use or how you do it. Every single one is a little different. Okay, the bottom part. Woo, I always like it when we get over here, because then we really get a lot of reactions. There's a bubble of water right there. There. Okay, I wonder if we could still do something here, yeah? Quite a bit of water right there. I just love doing this. To me, it's very therapeutic. All right, we'll look at this tomorrow to see more or less how it turned out. And tomorrow here, okay, so right now it is in Texas. It's Sunday afternoon, and it is the 15th. But I recognize that by the time you watch this, and even those that are following right along, it may already be the Monday the 16th for you. But for me, on Monday the 16th, I'll be writing with Map of Mars by Colorverse. Very interesting ink. This is Ink Flight 31. So we're completely starting with a new brand, and we're going to go back into Colorverse. We visited them before. That's a really pretty color, by the way. Oh my goodness. You're seeing it almost how I'm seeing it. It's definitely a teal, so it's going to give us camera issues. But what did you think of today's ink? Is this in your family of colors that you like? Let me get it off of here. Just hoping for something more accurate. Yeah, it's a little more accurate. So what did you think of Straits Pen Honest Ink Bougainvillea Purple? I understand there's a flower named after it, and I need to go on. I want to go on the internet and look and see what it looks like. I even would like to sketch one, or try to, so that's something else that I want to do. I try to allow myself a little more extra time on Sundays to do things like this, but today I was way behind on my cleaning, and the bathroom was horrible, so that's what I was doing. So I'll see you back here very soon with our next color, with our Map of Mars. And thank you so much for being here, following along, and all your comments and feedback. I enjoy it very much. Bye for now.